Hello, 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 and welcome to the Google for Startups Accelerator AI First Demo Day. Who's excited? Oh, wow. I can't hear you. Who is excited for today? Okay, I really can hear you now. That was phenomenal. Hey, everyone. I am Matt Reidenauer, head of Google Accelerator and Startup Ecosystems for the US, and I'm thrilled to get to be your host today. In fact, I'm also thrilled that we are coming to you live from Google headquarters right here in Mountain View, and we're live streaming all around the world. Thank you for joining. Woo! Back in 2016, our CEO Sundar announced at Google I/O that Google would be an AI-first company. Since that time, we've been building and deploying AI tools and products to billions of people all around the world. And today, we stand here with our first AI First Demo Day right here in Mountain View. Pretty cool to get to do that. We're going to get to hear from 15 fantastic early stage AI companies today, and we'll hear from an AI and startups panel, and maybe we'll have a few surprises along the way. How does that sound? Cool. You are not going to want to miss a minute, trust me. So before we do that, it's my honor and my pleasure to introduce Jim Anderson, VP of Northam Partner Ecosystems and Channels, to kick off our day. Come on up, Jim.
Thanks, Matt, and welcome to Google from Mountain View Live, right? What an exciting time to be here. As mentioned, my name is Jim Anderson, and I am responsible for the partner ecosystem and channels and mid-market business for North America for Google Cloud. And I couldn't imagine a better way to spend my time to be here with you on AI First Day, our first demo day, because what you are doing is truly transformational with regards to not just technology, but our humanity and society in general, right? As a site lead for our Texas site, I'm from Austin, Texas, I know how important it is to bring people together, whether in place or virtually. So I'm really excited to see all of you here today and go through this particular program. I also want to say that at Google, right, partners are key to our success, right? We know for us to get to where we need to get to meet our customers' needs, we have to partner for success. And whether you're simply a partner that leverages us for hosting, or you're a partner that leverages us for go-to-market, or even a partner that leverages us for joint innovation, right? We are counting on you for our future, and so our customers are. So I really thank you for being here today. So with that being said, I know we have a very exciting program. I want to make sure we get into and have plenty of time for the program. I guess, Matt, I'm not the surprise type of thing, with regards to it. I was hoping I'd be the surprise, but clearly they've stepped it up. I'm not the surprise, but I wish each of you the best in your journey with regards to your AI business. Once again, if you need any help, you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me or any of the Google people here, and let's go have a great day. So with that, I'll turn it over to Matt and go from there.
Thanks so much, Jim. Really appreciate that. Raise your hand if you have ever been a founder or talked to someone who has founded a company. Lots of hands up. We're with a lot of investors, venture capital, and a lot of founders here. Turns out it's really hard. It can be even a lonely experience. You are building a team, you're raising capital, you've got a big, bold vision, and yet you need to execute on every little detail. It can be a real challenge. And then I hear stories of people like Marcus Cobb, CEO of Mosaic, who was in a recent accelerator just like this one, who came through just like the startups you're going to be hearing today. He worked on his pitch, he worked on his technology, he learned AI use cases for their model. At the end of our time, he ended up raising $20 million and was featured in TechCrunch for their solution. Pretty exciting, right? In fact, during this very program, in the last 10 weeks, we've seen some amazing wins. Backpack Healthcare just closed a $14 million Series A they're going to be talking about. Liminal just 2 weeks ago closed a $5 million oversubscribed round. They're going to be talking in a minute. And there are more surprises you're going to be hearing, not just Jim Anderson, but more surprises today. Pretty cool, right? This accelerator is just one of many that we host all around the world. Since 2016, over 1,100 startups have come through and have ended up employing over 100,000 people around the world and are valued at over $120 billion. And many alumni have gone on to grow and become market leaders in their area, from Nubank in Brazil to ShareChat in India. For this very program, we went through the last 10 weeks, and each of these startups got rigorous training and mentorship from Googlers, over 150 experts and speakers who have taken them through product, AI and ML technologies, GCP, sales and leadership, and much more. Not only that, each of them was paired directly with a VC mentor who helped them with their pitch and getting ready to raise capital as well. Thank you to our VC mentors. Some of you are here. And now, the moment that you all have been waiting for, the 15 startups that you're going to get to hear from who are revolutionizing the future of healthcare, cybersecurity, developer tools, and much more. A few quick housekeeping things before we dive in. First, we're going to move really lightning fast. Each pitch is only going to be 2.5 minutes, and then we'll have a live question from the audience that they'll respond to. We'll have a panel in the middle, and for those joining virtually, please use the chat, ask your questions, send your praise, all that. Who's ready to rock? Are we ready? All right. Fantastic. It is my pleasure to first off introduce Sumit, CEO and founder at Aptory. Let's give him a big warm welcome.
Thank you, Matt. $200 billion are spent on cybersecurity every year. Yet, the number of data breaches continues to increase, and so does the severity. Clearly, the bad guys have the incentives. And now, with AI, the bad guys can exploit vulnerabilities faster than ever before. The only way to get ahead is to be proactive. We must focus on building software that's secure from the ground up, secure by design. Aptory is AI for the good guys. We help the good guys measure security risk, identify weaknesses, and release secure software faster. I'm Sumit Singh. I'm the founder and CEO of Aptory. I've built a couple startups before, both with successful exits. I worked in the largest software company in the world, and over a long career, had the opportunity to work with some of the largest enterprises the world over. And I'll tell you something. Every single time, every single place, it's always a race. We're always trying to get that next feature out, that next product out. There's just never enough time for testing. And security testing, that's just somebody else's problem. Unfortunately, vulnerabilities can have catastrophic consequences. We felt the pain, and now we have a solution. We call it semantic testing. It understands your application, generates targeted checks, executes them, and identifies weaknesses in your software. These aren't predefined rules. It's not static analysis. It's truly learning your application and generating an exhaustive test suite to find flaws in your application logic. Aptory does more than just spot those vulnerabilities. It also evaluates the risk, prioritizes the issues, and even suggests and implements code fixes. It integrates seamlessly into Git, fits into your workflow to make sure no vulnerability ever slips through to production. This is the future of secure software development. So we're currently collaborating with several Fortune 500 companies, and the results we're seeing are amazing. What used to take 30 days can now be reduced to 30 minutes. And the best part, it's all real time, it's continuous. And the secret is these AI agents that we've made, they don't get bored. They just keep working for you. They find all those bugs, and they fix them. Now, the outsourced software testing market is about $25 billion a year. We're going to disrupt that using AI agents. We're starting with security, but the possibilities are endless. We're eager to connect with investors who believe in our mission and are aligned with our vision. Thank you.
Hi, Sumit. Question for you. Given the rapid rate of advancement we are seeing with LLMs, how will your company differentiate?
So our customers, they're looking for solutions. They have a problem. Testing is a big challenge. Security risk is a big challenge. They're looking for a solution. LLMs are an ingredient in their solution. They're really looking for us to implement something that fits into their workflow. So what we have is essentially a system. It's a knowledge graph that understands the customer's application, learns it, improves over time, and ensures that the testing is predictable, it's proactive, it's reliable, and gets them all the benefits they need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sumit, for bravely kicking us off. Up next, let's hear from Steven, CEO and co-founder at Liminal.
All right, everyone, good afternoon. My name is Steve Walczak, CEO and co-founder of Liminal. It's wonderful to be here. Thanks to Google for having us. We're thrilled. Today, I'm going to tell you a tale of two different perspectives on AI. Let's start with what many of us in the room know. Generative AI is prolific. It took 2 months for ChatGPT to go from 0 to 100 million users. It's the fastest adoption path in history of technology. 12,000 new applications have been created since the release of ChatGPT 3. And 80% of organizations are predicted to adopt generative AI by 2026. This is, of course, according to Gartner. Yet if you actually go into regulated organizations with whom Liminal serves, think banks, financial services, insurance, life sciences, healthcare, and SLED, state and local governments, and education, we see a much different story emerging. Nearly 70% of these organizations are restricting access to generative AI. They're restricting access because they have a very real data privacy and security problem. Think regulatory compliance data types, such as PCI, PHI, PII data, and other corporate data types, such as IP and sensitive information. They don't want to see this non-compliant data exfiltrating the company and entering a large language model. The other security challenges they run into are governance and observability. I mentioned earlier that over 12,000 new applications had been created since the release of ChatGPT 3. That represents a massive amount of AI sprawl if you're a large regulated company, not to mention the number of models being released are growing, and they're going to continue to grow at an unbounded rate. It's this dichotomy of wanting to both adopt these tools, but being unable to, that CISOs live in regulated industries. And we created Liminal really to empower these regulated companies to deploy and use generative AI without fear of data privacy, security, or sovereignty. And we've given them the observability and the governance that they require in order to adopt it. We also provide a suite of secure productivity tools that provides a delightful experience to end users and developers while allowing them to engage with the AI tools as they were intended. That they've been given access to, and also without punishing them for using the applications as they were intended. So we are the only horizontal security platform for all generative AI, protecting sensitive data and providing governance and observability in direct interactions. That's the one we're most familiar with. Apps, generative AI-enabled apps that you would pull off the shelf, and apps that you're building, all in one platform. We're model agnostic. We bring AI to where the user is, and we are totally secure. As a company, I'm proud to say that we are universally loved, actually, by our customers in a variety of different segments. We have deployed to some of the largest companies in the US right now, and in addition to some state and local government and educational institutions as well. We're proud to be with Google. We're proud to partner with you all, and we're excited to bring generative AI into some of the highest data security and government requirements that are available. Here to take questions. Thank you.
Hi, Steve. From your experience, where are organizations struggling to adopt generative AI?
Yeah. Right now, what we've seen, especially in regulated companies, is we saw the promises of generative AI go to a record high last year. I think everybody thought generative AI was going to do everything from, take my job to automate every workflow in the company. And they developed these really complex and comprehensive AI roadmaps. When instead they should have, instead of delivering on those promises, they actually eschewed all of these simple use cases that actually can provide a ton of productivity benefits to their company when just deploying a general purpose model. So what we encourage these companies to do is to just get started. And with Liminal, they can get started faster than ever. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Up next, I'm delighted to introduce Hafiza, CEO and founder at Backpack Healthcare. Let's give a big warm welcome.
Hi, everyone. Backpack started from a very personal story. In October of 2020, my son, who was 6, came to me and told me that he wanted to kill himself. My heart broke. I didn't see it coming. I looked for self-care solutions because I was embarrassed as a mom. I looked for a therapist. And when I couldn't find it, I built Backpack Healthcare. My son is not alone. 1 in 5 children in the country is suffering from mental health conditions, and that leaves millions untreated. And this is where we come in. How do we combine to ensure our therapists have the best solutions to support them and the families have the best solutions to support them? And as a result, we've built AI tools to ensure our therapists can provide support in an efficient manner. We took all of our models and say, how do we ensure that we can ensure patients can have similar tools to their therapists so that they can be able to help support each other at home? And all of this was done, and we created our own AI, enable EHR to make sure every patient that comes in from end to end, we can continue to change our models. And just to let you know what's powered within our models, is more than 25,000 sessions of the most diverse data set in pediatric mental health. More than 60% of our patient populations are BIPOC or from multicultural households. And let me show you how it works. So we have Zip, who's our mentor, who comes in and helps the families be able to get the care that they need. I guess I have to go back, 1 cue. Zip was so excited for this presentation. All right, so Zip comes in and he helps the families be able to identify what's happening behind them, how to help support them, and an all-in-one mental health platform. He decides, how's your day going? After Zip is finishing working with the patients, he guides them through ensuring that we can understand what is their background, what is their family dynamic, different things to ensure we have a very effective journey to help motivate them, to help support them. Once we gather that information from our patients, we are then able to go ahead and to track to see how they're doing. We keep them motivated, we keep them excited throughout their entire journey so that we can help ensure they keep getting the care that they need. Zip also works in creating an AI treatment plan to help support them based on their continuous progress and how they're doing and how they're being supported throughout their journey. As Zip continues, we continue to have fun and engaging games to keep them excited. You want a live therapist? Our AI matching algorithm matches the families with the best therapist for them. We find the best therapist match. Jenny is a 98% match for my wonderful son Azim, who is doing well. What if Azim says, I don't want to go to a session? Well, that's not good. Our no-show prediction software can predict if he's not going to show up to his session with a 95% accuracy. But because Jenny is the right therapist for Azim, he shows up and he's getting the care that he needs. This wouldn't be possible without my incredible team, Prasant, who came from Meta, Jenny, Nicole, And we're excited to say that we've raised our Series A, launched our self-care app nationally, and commercializing our efforts so that we can expand and reach all the kids that need access to great mental health. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Have you thought about licensing any of your AI solutions?
Oh, wow, that's an interesting one. We know at Backpack that we can't solve the mental health crisis alone, and we're excited to say that we can license our solutions, and we've partnered with Google so we can license it and launch our APIs on their marketplace. So very excited to help support communities around us who need access to these type of solutions to provide care.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Hafiza. Up next, Brain Logic AI. Let's welcome up Nicholas, the CTO and co-founder.
Thanks, Matt. Excited to be here. I'm Nicholas, and I have great news for you. But before I do that, let me introduce myself. I'm the CTO of Brain Logic. I'm from Latin America, and trust me, Latin Americans love to chat. We do it all the time. We negotiate, we schedule, we purchase using tools like WhatsApp, which is completely crazy. In fact, only 10% of retail in Latin America happens over e-commerce. But over 70% of consumer transactions involve WhatsApp at some point. So this is a mess because these tools were not built for this application. They're not built for product and service discovery. And we end up wasting a lot of time trying to reach out to the ends. And that's why we built Sapia. And Sapia is what we consider the best conversational commerce experience. And what Sapia is it's a set of AI agents that basically solves tasks for you that are related to commerce. For instance, negotiations, product search, and purchases. And what it gives you is expert advice, and it also helps you find the best local deals and information. And in order to do this, Sapia finds and reaches out to tens of millions of businesses in Latin America over these conversational platforms, and then does this on your behalf to solve your problem. And this might be, for instance, searching for or scheduling a haircut, or finding the best quote from a local plumber. When we joined this program, we were thrilled that we had hit 1 million users, and I'm super excited to announce today that this week we hit 2 million users. That's amazing. Users love Sapia so much that our growth, 30% month over month, is mostly through organic channels, and it's people recommending the product to each other. In order to build this, we put an executive team together that has over 4 decades of experience in e-commerce and AI combined. And they've launched the largest cross-border e-commerce company in Latin America, and also one of the main AI consulting firms. Our engineering team is small, but it already includes multiple PhDs and masters in AI, and we have experience launching AI models in production at scale at places like Google or Etsy. I think now finally is the time when the technology is ready to revamp the commerce experience in countries and markets that are mobile first and conversational first. And we put the best team to execute on this vision. If you want to help Latin Americans save time and save money, then let's chat. Thank you.
Hi, Nicholas. Question for you.
Yes.
If WhatsApp is the most popular messaging platform in much of the world, why limit yourself to Latin America?
I would say there are two main reasons, focus and opportunity. We are Latin Americans and we know this market and we want a solution that really works for this market before we start scaling and trying things in other places. And also, Latin America is a huge opportunity. The retail market there is over $2 trillion. And as I mentioned before, 90% of it happens outside of e-commerce platforms. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. Exciting. Up next, I am delighted to introduce Luis, CEO and co-founder at Cicerai.
All right. Hello, everyone. As Matt said, I'm Luis Canet, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Cicerai, an legal tech startup building AI solutions for a smarter legal practice. Because a lot of people still believe that practicing law is what Harvey Specter portrayed in the show Suits, spending his time going over very interesting core material and spending his sharp intellect to defend his clients in front of the judge in high-stakes legal battles. But the reality is a lot less sexy. With many hours spent going over irrelevant documentation or taking care of burdensome tasks that are necessary for the legal practice to survive, such as billing, communications, status reports, and many more. That is why we created Cicerai, an AI-native legal practice management platform where legal professionals can combine their own internal data with external case law and legislation to create an unprecedented knowledge base that they can tap into using natural language. With Cicerai, our customers can leverage our personalized and specialized AI agents to be able to maximize the quality of their case law and legal research. But they can also leverage the dozens of workflows that we have created to automate some of the most common tasks within their firms, whether those are billing audits, case reports, contract comparisons, and many, many more. So since our beta launch from last month, we have already onboarded more than 20 customers across 2 continents that are processing more than 100,000 pages of legal documents within our platform, and that represent a pipeline of more than $1 million in revenue. And this is in an industry that moves more than $1 trillion a year, where margins are around 20 to 30%, and we're helping our customers increase those by double digits. And to do this, we've put together a team of ex-Googlers like myself and my co-founder, David Garcia, and have surrounded ourselves with an amazing team of legal professionals, PhDs, machine learning engineers, and software developers. So if you would like to join us in this journey to transform the legal industry, which basically permeates every single aspect of our society, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much.
Question for you. What is your go-to market strategy to stand out from other legal tech startups?
That's a great question. And I think that we believe in the value of partnerships to stand out from the competition. In fact, we're actually partnering with Google to be one of the first legal tech startups in the Google Cloud Marketplace so that we can tap into corporate law, as well as partnering with other incumbent organizations, whether those are referral networks or legal editorials that already have a huge user base and want to leverage our technology to be able to offer more services to their own partners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. Up next, let's all welcome Rajan, CEO and co-founder at Easel AI.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. I'm Rajan. And with my co-founder, Swen, we started Easel last year. Easel is an AI avatar-based social chat application which allows friends to create scenes of themselves to express better. Rather than taking a picture of yourself, Easel allows you to create pictures. So for example, this is a picture that Easel created of me and my co-founder surfing, even though none of us know surfing. Visual communication is still primarily limited to capturing pictures, but not creating them. And this kind of unlocks a whole new set of scenarios. For example, lately, one of my friends emailed me and with a wedding invitation that he's getting married in Vegas. And I wanted to respond by creating a scene of me and my wife wishing congratulations in front of Welcome to Las Vegas sign. We emailed that back to them, and his fiance, whom I've never met, responded by saying, by far, this is the best RSVP they got. Easel allows us to express ourselves in like these funny and interesting ways. So by latching onto iMessage, we create this as a native chat experience. And using a proprietary AI technology, we're kind of creating the best of its class experience, which is a mix of both speed and photorealistic quality. Easel allows us to, because Easel is very much integrated into iMessage, it almost feels native. And so let's say if a friend sends me a message wishing good morning from a sunflower field, I can tap the same scene, remix, put myself in a sunflower field, and wish good morning back. Furthermore, we created multiplayer experience, where it's not just you, but you can involve and include your friends in the same scene and scenario. And what we learned is that multiplayer scenes can influence trust, togetherness, and intimacy in a socially interactive way, enhancing a sense of realism and emotional connection. AI unlocks a whole new set of new communication opportunities and monetization opportunities as well. 250 million people send Bitmojis every single day, and 87% of the US teens have an iPhone. You combine an existing user behavior with an existing platform, and we unlock a whole set of new opportunities when it comes down to expressive communication. And the core technology that we are building also allows for unlimited B2B applications and scenarios. Imagining creating or partnering with greeting card companies, book companies, new keyboard licensing deals, etc. We recently also had a technical breakthrough where instead of traditional 30 minutes of your model training, we can now generate easels or your photorealistic pictures in just 5 seconds. So download Easel now, and we have a booth set up so that you can experience this new breakthrough that we just had and get yourselves a sticker. Thank you.
Good afternoon. What are some interesting use cases you have seen people using Easel for?
Yeah, so we have seen 3 primary use cases. One is around greetings, wishing birthdays, good morning, good night, etc. Today's Matt's birthday. Happy birthday, Matt. And so I sent an easel of myself holding balloons with a large cake on a beach and wishing happy birthday. Then we have experiences that are more imaginative. You're watching Jurassic Park and you can create scenes of yourself being chased by a dinosaur. Easel allows us to express in any way we want, and expressiveness, greetings, and imagination are some of the top use cases we are seeing. Thank you.
Fantastic, Rajan. My birthday is tomorrow, but I love an early easel. Anytime I can get a day early easel, I feel great about it. Thank you, Rajan. Up next, let's welcome Norm, CTO and co-founder at Codif.
Thank you, Matt. Cool. So at Codif, we're building next-generation customer support. And as Sam Altman predicted, customer support will be the first industry to be disrupted. And we on the ground, working with our customers, we really see that. It's really happening. So our vision is that 90% of the customer support will actually will be automated by models, by the machines. And then humans will be responsible for the escalations, as well as supporting these models. So before starting Codif, I spent 5 years at Uber building their customer support automation platform. So right now, if you go to the Uber Eats app, you click on the help section, all the kind of self-service flows, they're actually powered by this platform. And right now, more than 70% of all the interactions are actually powered by this platform. So as a result of all these kind of impact, we decided to start Codif. So what problems do we see? As you all aware, in customer support, a lot of repetitive, mundane tasks. lack of engineering resources. That's why they cannot actually build their own automations easily. And customers overall are having higher and higher expectations from customer support. So our solution, we call it Copilot to Autopilot. Basically, we record kind of what customer support agents are doing. And based on that learning, we train the models. And these models automate customer inquiries throughout the customer lifecycle. So that can be a chatbot, email, or even like agent-facing Copilot as well. So some of the results from our current customers. So for, let's say, Minted GoodX, we reached 30-40% in agent productivity. We made them more productive. For Trust Wallet, let's say we deflected more than 90% of their incoming tickets. So some great results. Last year, we grew 6 times. In May, our ARR was at 1 million. So we're really excited about that. And by the end of the year, we should reach 1.7-ish ARR as well. So we already have some pretty well-known brands, such as Dollar Shave Club, Trust Wallet, CoinMarketCap. And yeah, what makes us different? So 3 things. First of all, the founding team has a lot of experience in this field, in the customer support. Technology, we are the only solution on the market which combines Gen AI, rules, and all of that is actually in a low-code platform. And as I already mentioned, our approach, our solution is the Copilot to Autopilot, which is pretty unique at this point as well. So we also have a very, very strong team, people from Uber, Stanford, Plug and Play. Yeah, right now we're hiring a lot of engineering across different roles, planning to raise Series A later this year. So if you're interested, please stop by. Currently, we raised $6.5 million so far. Our investors are Village, Blink Capital, Plug and Play, and Carman Ventures, which is Uber Mafia. Thank you. And if you'd like to build a quick chatbot for your help center, you can scan that and quickly do that as well. Yeah.
Hi, Norm. What is your go-to market strategy, and how does it connect to your overall business plan?
Yeah, good question. So currently, our go-to-market strategy is direct outbound sales. However, with the industry being disrupted, a lot of BPOs actually are looking for technology partners because they want to become tech-enabled. And our platform is a low-code platform, which basically allows for that. So currently, we're running a bunch of pilots or partnerships with these companies, and that looks like a promising channel for go-to-market.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Norm. Rounding out our first half, we've almost made it to the halfway point. Let's give a big warm welcome to Dr. Derek Paul, CEO and co-founder of Glass Health.
Hi, everyone. My name is Derek Paul. I'm a physician, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Glass Health. It's a huge honor to be here with fellow entrepreneurs at the inaugural Google AI First Demo Day. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey as a physician and our company. I trained in medicine at UCSF and then at Harvard at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. So my introduction to medicine was seeing our healthcare system at its breaking point. And one of the biggest problems that I saw was that doctors truly didn't have good software to support their critical clinical workflows and making complex decisions for very sick patients. My co-founder, Graham Ramsey, and I started Glass Health for this reason. And we empower healthcare providers with the best-in-class AI for diagnosis and state-of-the-art treatment. This kind of company couldn't be built 4 years ago. What we've seen over the last 2 years is exponential improvement in the clinical reasoning abilities of large language models. GPT 3.5 shocked the world when they passed the United States medical licensing exam in December of 2022 with a 60%. This is the hardest test in the world. Just 2 years later, last month, the MedGemini team, the incredible team here at Google, passed with a 91.1%.
Just unbelievable performance. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of doctors, and I don't know any of them who got a 91.1% on the exam. So what does this mean? It's not that these models are going to replace doctors, but what this means is we can start to use them to build unbelievable products that can augment doctors. At Glass, we've put together a team of the best doctors and engineers in the world to build these products that could not be built before. Here's a demo of our AI differential diagnosis feature. The clinician can put in a summary of their patient. The AI will analyze that patient, and then it will give the doctor a series of diagnoses that they should consider and test for, not replacing the doctor, but augmenting their abilities. Our AI assessment and plan feature goes a step further, where once the diagnosis is clinched by the doctor, we can actually generate a draft of a state-of-the-art treatment plan that actually uses physician-reviewed clinical guidelines. So we've signed up 70,000 healthcare providers to our platform. They've done hundreds of thousands of AI queries. And while we've been here in the Google Accelerator, we've been focused on crossing the next Rubicon, which is getting our product integrated into EHRs at hospitals. Today, I'm really proud to demo Glass Odyssey, which is our EHR integrated platform. Inside the EHR, we can actually be an assistant to the provider through every step of the encounter. We can integrate with ambient listening data that's captured during the provider encounter. We can pull data like labs and imaging from the electronic medical record, use all of that data as context when we draft these assessment and plans for the doctor, and then boom, documentation ready to go. We think this will have transformative benefits for healthcare. On the health system side and the healthcare provider side, increase provider efficiency and decrease provider burnout. For our patients, decrease diagnostic errors, and ultimately the most important thing is improved patient outcomes and wellness. We are a Y Combinator and initialized company. And if you're a health system leader here or you're a Series A investor, I would absolutely love to talk to you. Have you join us in revolutionizing the practice of medicine. Thank you.
Question for you. Selling to doctors and health system is notoriously difficult. Tell us more about Glass Health go-to-market strategy.
It is notoriously difficult. We do something that's very unusual in healthcare, which is we are a product-led growth company. So like a Slack or a Notion or a Asana, these companies, SaaS companies that went from 1 million to 100 million in revenue in record time, we go directly to the end user and provide value. So those 70,000 doctors were signed up organically without any marketing spend, mostly from word of mouth. So we focus on the end user, provide them a great experience so that our product will grow organically. And then once we have champions inside our health systems, we can close business-to-business deals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. And let's give a huge congratulations to our first half of Startups. Really cool. You've made it to the halfway point. With that, I am thrilled. We'll have a panel in a minute, but I want to introduce Judy Wu, the head of Startup Strategy and Programs, to talk about Google Cloud for Startups.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. Can we give one more round of applause to the first half cohort? So I'm so excited to be here today. My team leads global strategy and programs for startups. So our entire jobs is to figure out what programs, what tools, what resources, what do you guys need out there in order to be successful? How do we work with you not just on credits? How do we work with you guys on technical support enablement? How do we work with you to connect you to the community and gain learning? How do we work with you on go-to-market when you are ready? And so I'm incredibly excited. I've been working with startups and specifically in cloud for more than a decade at this point. I have to say this year has been an incredibly exciting year. And I am so lucky to be able to partner with folks like Matt and his teams in order to bring the next generation of startups and AI to make it a reality. So I have this part, I'm going to skip straight to the program. We have a lot to cover today. The Google for Startups Cloud program is committed to supporting early stage startups. We are there for them when they need it the most. Again, not just about credits, but if we have to call it out, $200K over 2 years, $350K over 2 years for AI companies. So we are out there, we are supporting them and making sure that they have what they need in order to build. They don't need to worry about that from the start. We also provide them with technical support in that year, training programs and credits that they need. In addition to that, AI-specific programs and training and access to experts and also early product access. And so there's a whole host of things that we are doing to work with those companies. In addition to that, it's not just self-service, right? This is about connecting with our customers very personally. We have dedicated startup success managers that we pair up with the startups that come into our program that are there to help accelerate their ramp and their growth in their journey all along the way. So we're really, really excited to support not only this GFS Accelerator cohort, but startups globally. All right, I'm going to hand it back to Matt. Thanks.
Thank you, Judy. Awesome. So now we're going to set up for our really exciting Startups, AI, and Tech panel. So we'll take 30 seconds and have the panelists come on up. Okay. That was painless enough, right? We got everyone on. This is good. So we thought it would be fun to take a moment, to take a breather and learn from some experts in AI, some founders in AI, some venture capitalists that are investing in AI, to learn a little bit more about what's happening, what they're excited about, and some advice they might have for people building in AI. How does that sound? So I'm thrilled that we have Oveta Sampson, Director of UX here at Google in Core Machine Learning. We have Sue Shu, Managing Partner at Amino Capital. We have Anna Vladimira, Co-founder, CEO at AI Merch. And we have my good friend, Derek Canton, CEO and founder at PayOrPay, and an alumni of our Google for Startups Accelerator. So we're going to make this rapid, just like the founders did. We're going to just hear 2 questions, and everyone's going to respond to each of them. Maybe we'll start with Oveta, and maybe give an intro to you and your role as it relates to AI, and something you're just excited about in AI right now.
Hello? Yes. Hi, so I'm the Director of UX for Core Machine Learning and AI at Google, and that means that I work on the team that helps to develop the tools, services, and platforms for Google developers to create AI models. That includes Google DeepMind, Google Research, all the way through to all the PAs, including Waymo, YouTube, and Search. So my wheelhouse is ML infrastructure and scale. So how do you scale ML and AI in a responsible way? So I cover everything from data all the way to de-risking models, model governance, and model risk management. So it's a big scope, especially at Google. And but it's really exciting because I've been in ML and AI for about 12 to 13 years, and it was like Moses in the desert there for a while, and now everybody's come to the desert, and now it's like overflowing, which is awesome.
The promised land.
Yeah,
here,
that's right. We've gotten there. Although I still think we're very in much the beginning. So the one thing that I'm super excited about is seeing how adaptive ML and AI solutions will be once people kind of figure out how it fits into their everyday lives. And that, I think right now we're kind of like Neanderthals with fire. Ooh, fascinating. You know, let's stick our hand in it and see what happens. And I think over time we'll have much more what I call complex use cases that I've always thought that this technology was really good for. I think right now organizing our resumes is really great, but I think I foresee some wonderful advancement in how we teach every individual student to be able to craft a lesson plan that follows their distinct and distinct way of visualizing the world. That's the kind of capability that this technology can do, and with the right kind of thought process about applying it to those use cases, I fear that I'm super excited about the idea of customizing and personalizing the world to folks who've never really been on what I would call included into certain technologies. And I always think of my mom, who just passed away in March. She was 85, and she never learned to type, so she kind of missed out on the whole iPhone. But when she got Google Voice, she was able to kind of like connect to technology. And so I foresee this technology allowing folks who were on the sidelines to be right in the middle of improving their everyday lives.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, tough act to follow. Thank you, Avetta. Sue, let's hear from you.
Thank you, Matt, for having me. And I'm one of the partners at Amino Capital. And then we absolutely love Google. And then our partner, Dr. Chu, he joined Google year 2000 and started Google image search. And then later on, 2010. And then I think ImageNet came. And then, fast forward, like Google has like years of evolutionary milestones on AI and transformer and everything, Gemini. And then I feel like last year on Google Next, one of our early investments, Rapid, took stage. And then last year's narrative was like, oh, if you actually wanted to hire engineer, and then you can actually use Google Cloud, then it can access to Rapid, and then it can have equal quality of codes generated, just like Copilot. And this year you guys have Code Assist, but Rapid is still one of the largest upcoming user of Google Cloud. And this year the narrative will be like, one of our early investment, now also unicorn company called Turing.com, took the stage of Google Next. And then,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and this year's narrative will be like, if you guys, marketing people, if you want to hire, if you have an idea and you want to hire 2 engineers, you just use Google Cloud, and then through Turing.com, and then you don't even need a full FTE. And then how do we make sure that Turing can actually assign 15, 25, 50, 200 engineers to you next day? Because they use Code Assist, the quality codes. So we were like, oh my gosh, And then Turing also is one of the, upcoming, one of the pretty large, user of Google Cloud. So I was very lucky that I joined, Amino since 2012, been 12 years, and I've seen this revolution of AI first, startups, and Amino ourselves, we, tend to be AI first VC, and we actually took advantage of, Google Redshift, Google Work, and because our partner, a lot of the Google tools, internal tools, so good. And then we originally just used those no-code tools, but later on, one of the Google Work, internal tools shut down, but we still use Google tools, and then we're still a strong user, and then we develop our own AI-driven, more like an ERP thing. If you just give me email of a startup founder, I can generate the due diligence. Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. AI due diligence. Nice. That's fantastic. Thank you. Now we're going to hear from two founders. Tell us a little bit more about your role and tell us what's exciting in AI right now.
Thank you, Matt. So I'm Anna Vladimirska, CEO and co-founder for Emerge, and we are a computer vision technology for food and beverage distributors. Right now, as you probably all know, sustainability is a huge issue. About 30% of all inventory in supermarkets is thrown away, and that's, in times when we experience a huge crisis with food security. So what we are excited about is ability to use technologies, AI, transformers, all that good stuff for improving the businesses and consequently having some positive externality. I see AI being used in the near future, like Avera and Sue mentioned, like in education, healthcare. There is so much upside, but it's all really enabled by models like transformers. What we see, initially when we started, we've been using CNNs, like traditional convolutional neural networks, and obviously now with transformers, performance is so much better. And we just completed our Google for Startups journey as well in the women's cohort. And so during our journey, we integrated and collaborated with Google Cloud. So we integrated Gemini 1.5, Gemini Nano, and we really benefited from the multimodality. So having ability to process data, not only textual data, but in combination with video, audio, pictures, all that good stuff, provided a lot of upside and benefits to our customers. And we are in this niche distribution industry, but I can see that being used across the board for all good use cases.
Wow. Derek, round us out.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Derek Canton. I am the CEO and founder of a company called PearPay. We work with restaurants to help them provide better guest experiences, and we use AI to power that. And that's everything from you call a restaurant, we can answer the phone for you, we can handle orders, reservations, and everything. The center of everything we've been doing has been working with small and mid-sized businesses, which is really the backbone of America. And it's been really fascinating to see and exciting to how we can support these restaurants candidly keep their doors open. A lot of these brands are thinking, how do I compete with these larger chains? How to provide guest experiences and doing so in a way that's cost effective? But with costs quickly going up, labor costs going up, it's like, how do you do that? We've had some brands we work with who you call, and I'm sure we've had this, where you order a pizza from a restaurant. They say, we'll put you on hold for a minute, and 10 minutes later, you're still sitting and waiting. And so with our platform, we can answer as many calls as you like. There's a lot of cool things there around it. But honestly, when I think about the core, what I'm most excited about is really about providing better human experiences. And I think when you talk about technology in general and going through the Google programs, and we're fortunate to be part of the Google for Startups, but also the Black Founders Fund as well too, we've seen really great opportunities to help provide those experiences for people like us that want to build businesses, that want to provide engaging opportunities and experiences. And so seeing how technology can do that has been really exciting. If you want to talk about LLMs, I can talk about it too, but honestly for me, it always comes down to those human first experiences.
Good to not lose sight of human beings. That's a very important thing in all this with robots and AI. Humans are still important, it turns out. Okay, we're going to hear a rapid fire, literally 20 seconds each. We're going to go very fast. What's one word of advice you have to startup founders who are building in AI right now? And we'll go back. Sorry.
Yeah, so really quick, I would say one is if you're thinking about it, just start. It's very easy to think about, I have to do all these things, but there's a lot of tools out there where you can literally get started today that are cost effective and use those resources. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Nice.
Awesome. When I think about AI-first companies, it comes down to three things. So it's data, compute, and then obviously models. So when it comes to compute and models, my recommendations do partner with Google because their model garden is incredible. I mean, we benefited a lot. And then proprietary data. Make sure that you have access, you have rights, you have a great data set that will enable those positive outcomes.
I feel like AI first, it actually came to our first principle of the investment theme, which is data plus machine learning plus product. So you have to have a kick-ass product to collect data, period.
That's good.
Product is good, right? When I advise startups, I have an acronym, HER, the human engagement risk of models. So my advice and the advice that I give to startups is to set up your cybersecurity over data, your privacy, your policies on model risk management, and set up teams to de-risk your models. This is not a risk-free business, y'all. So you need to have those set up before you get the phone call and by a lawyer or an irate customer. So either way, legally or your customers are mad at you, like don't forget the risk, y'all, and set up your policies as well as your technology and platforms to protect your investments.
So de-risk it, don't lose the human beings, and make sure you build a great product. I think that's fantastic. Let's give a big round of applause to our amazing panelists. Thank you all. We're going to wrap there. And we will jump into our second half in 30 seconds. Do not leave. All right. Thank you all. Wasn't that cool? Awesome to hear from investors, from founders, from Google leadership. Really cool to hear. Kicking off our second half, I am thrilled. Let's give a big warm welcome to Jean-Pierre, CEO and co-founder at Mbue. Come on.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. $70 billion. Each year in the US, we waste over $70 billion in construction due to changes, errors, and omissions. That's a lot of mistakes. Quality control is the most critical aspect of the construction industry, one that relies heavily on human review. So this was me. As a licensed architect, I spend countless hours and late nights reviewing thousands of drawings. It is extremely time-consuming, and is prone to errors. That is why we created Mbue, an AI application that instantly reviews and identifies issues in architectural drawings. Think autocorrect for construction documents. It will save architects and builders significant time and money while reducing liability. Mbue accurately identifies any changes to the drawings. It reviews all graphics and annotations to ensure everything is drawn correctly. It coordinates multiple disciplines for cross-coordination and even checks code compliance. Mbue understands drawings the way a human would, being able to recognize when an object has moved but not changed. We're the only platform that analyzes all text, and it can identify even the smallest change to a character-level precision. We're building technology capable of reading and understanding technical drawings beyond human capabilities. This means it will not only identify costly mistakes and anticipate potential issues, but know how to do it right, providing real-time design solutions and generating flawless architecture. Since our launch the feedback we receive from our customers have been overwhelmingly positive. For example, Horde Construction saved over $100,000 on a single review using our platform. We have a strong pipeline with early revenue, 25 companies in trial, and we're securing pilots with 2 of the top construction companies in the world. I built a team of talented experts in AI to transform our industry. My co-founder, Ron Green, has over 25 years experience in AI and machine learning with multiple successful exits. Our CTO, Dave DiCaprio, has over 25 years in AI leading successful startups. We're positioned to win with our senior team's deep industry and technology expertise. We have raised over $1 million in our pre-seed funding and are looking for a few more investors to join us, to participate. So come talk to us and join us in our pursuit of a world built better with fewer errors. Thank you.
$70 billion.
$70 billion. It's actually more than that, 5 to 10% of all construction costs. That wasn't the question, right?
That was not the question.
Okay.
But the question for you is, how do you envision MBU evolving to capture a larger market beyond construction companies?
So we have validated that the number 1 issue in all job sites across the United States is the lack of coordination between disciplines. This means that, the architect and the structural are not coordinated. There's deviations between civil and plumbing and you name it, right? So we're building a platform that will be able to move away from comparing 2 documents to a single document review for cross-coordination. And that itself has significant value and will be able to expand significantly our serviceable market to include both architects, engineers, as well as construction companies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. 70 billion. You won't forget that. Next up, let's welcome up Naul, CEO and co-founder of Clika.
We're integrating AI into every aspect of our daily operations. Did you know that enterprises spend 96% of their AI budget into inference, which is running the AI models? It's pretty ridiculous that we're pouring so much money and resource into just simply operating them. Hello, my name is Naul, co-founder and CEO at Clika. Clika enhances efficiency and reduces the cost of implementing AI through our compressed and accelerated AI models. And we do this with a single line of code. Using Clika is as simple as 3 steps. First, import your pre-trained AI model. Second, run our single line of code. And lastly, just wait a few minutes to deploy our Clika compressed model onto any target hardware. And now we have automated it to Google Cloud. This is just an example of the output. Compared to the original, our compressed vision model runs 12 times faster, and all this without losing accuracy at all. We also ran the same code on a language model. And as you can see, our compressed language model ran even faster on a lot cheaper hardware. And here we're comparing very fancy 800 machine compared to L4, which is readily available on cloud and in the market. With our innovation, we're helping AI engineers and any company that wants to leverage AI productionize a lot smaller, faster, and cost-effective AI models. Already top enterprises are trusting us to commercialize their AI models more efficiently and rapidly. With over 100 companies on the wait list, we're now hustling really hard to ship our open and enterprise model
by the end of Q3. Our team is composed of top talent who have built and sold MLOps solutions to top enterprises. Not to mention the crazy CTO here built MLOps, end-to-end MLOps platform for Intel's Mobileye, and he built our core engine by himself. We wake up every day with crazy numbers and literally going, what the fuck? And we have the demo right over there, so we invite everyone to come check us out. Thank you.
I wake up the same.
Really?
Question for you. How is your technology different from others?
Interesting question. I think our perspective of understanding AI model and how we approach our compression engine is completely different in that we're not template-based, meaning it's not just going to work for specific models. We believe in full automation and generic solution that works across different model with different architecture for different target hardware. And I think performance speaks by itself, and you have the result over there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nayul. I think you got everyone's attention there. That was amazing. Now I'm delighted to introduce Scott, CTO and co-founder at Modulo Bio.
Thanks, Matt. In 2020, my co-founder Mike's best friend's mom was diagnosed with a devastating form of dementia that causes major changes to your personality and behavior, all while parts of your brain wither. She has a genetic form of the disease, which means Mike's best friend has a 50% chance of also developing this dementia or ALS, a highly related neurodegenerative disease which causes major change or loss of motor and muscle function. For the rest of us, 30%. That's the chance you'll develop a dementia if you make it past 70. Our scientific co-founder, Justin Nichita, is a professor at USC, and he's an expert in the brain's immune system, which is centered around one of the coolest cells in your brain you may have never heard of, called the microglia. Microglia do many things. They literally shape our brains, reach out to and support our neurons, and clean out the trash. However, they can become stuck, toxic, and deadly to our neurons. Traditional approaches to find drugs for neurodegeneration often focus around the neurons directly. That's because the brain's immune system is notoriously difficult to model and understand. However, recent innovation in biology, coupled with advances in AI, unlock the ability to much more deeply understand the brain's immune system and how to recruit it to protect and repair neurons for neurodegeneration. We founded Modulo Bio to leverage the brain's immune system, which evolved over hundreds of millions of years, and use it to discover new drugs for neurodegenerative diseases. We built a platform of miniature brain immune systems that uses AI to map the shapes, movements, activities, and communications of the microglia and neurons. The platform uses images, videos, and high-dimensional data of cellular interaction to build models of the brain's immune system. For ALS and the form of dementia that I've mentioned before, we used our platform to discover a new drug that reverses motor dysfunction in a mouse model of ALS. This model is super cool. It's like a mouse going to the gym. After a month, a healthy mouse can hang onto a pull-up bar for longer after it gets stronger. An ALS mouse, think Stephen Hawking, starts weaker, does not get stronger, and cannot hang onto the pull-up bar for longer. However, if you take an ALS mouse and give it the targeted drug, it regains its ability to hang onto the pull-up bar for longer, reversing the disease. That's over 100% improvement in the ability of an ALS mouse to hold on longer to a pull-up bar when given the targeted drug. We're so excited about this and other results that we're racing towards clinical testing. In the 3 years since starting Modulo, we've discovered a protective state of microglia in ALS. We've designed our own proprietary drug for neurodegenerative applications, and we've advanced that drug towards clinical trials 20% faster than industry standards. We've raised over 15 million in grants and investment, which includes 4 million in venture philanthropy that we were awarded during this Google Accelerator. Thank you. Our founding team has expertise across biotech, AI, lab automation, and cell engineering. And we've recruited a world-class team of folks to both take our current drug to patients faster, as well as discover new drugs for neurodegeneration. We'd love to connect with investors, biotech partners, and advisors that believe in the power of the brain's immune system. So if our mission resonates with you, please reach out. Thank you.
Hi, Scott. Question. Will your platform work for all forms of dementia? And what about other diseases?
So the brain's immune system is involved with most forms of diseases that have some cognitive impairment involved. So epilepsy, treatment-resistant depression, traumatic brain injury, and neurodegenerative diseases. We're using the platform to map the states of the microglia and the neuroimmune system across all of those different indications, both for partnering with biotechs as well as developing our own drugs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Super exciting. I told you there'd be new surprises and announcements, right? Up next, I'm thrilled to introduce Jonathan, CEO and co-founder of Findly. Let's give him a big warm welcome.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jonathan. I'm the CEO at Findly. At Findly, we enable businesses to make better and faster decisions with data. Companies are sitting on a lot of data, but they fail to use it efficiently to make informed, confident decisions. Different audiences have different needs when it comes to data. For instance, a private equity real estate investor who is considering building new medical clinics and wants to prove their thesis is looking to understand data on diseases in a certain region, past transaction data, and population demographics. At Findly, they can analyze and test multiple hypotheses much faster. Let me show you how. First, Findly connects with internal and external data sources. Then he uses a semantic layer to automatically categorize and label each part of the schema, making data easier to be accessed. Findly then combines industry-specific, fine-tuned models that understand specific business needs with a code interpreter that performs advanced math calculations to answer complex questions. Findly then lets decision makers build data visualizations and advanced data predictions in seconds, just typing in plain English. We have a demo going on here, but if you want to see the full demo, come talk to us right after the presentation. Let's look at our energy trading customer. He's looking to arbitrage the energy market, and for that, he needs to understand how likely is the Vega Sun vessel to go to Chiba port in Japan. He has finally connected to his data sources through a unified semantic layer, and his trading team is now able to ask complex questions 50 times faster than when they were using Excel and Power BI. And unlike any other data platform out there, Findly is the only capable one of answering such complex questions. And we're not in beta or in the near future, we're fully live today. In fact, Findly is also readily available in the Google Marketplace, Google Cloud Marketplace. The embedded analytics market is worth $104 billion. Our software became enterprise-ready just last April, and we already closed our first large contract with an energy trading company at $200,000 per year. And we expect this contract to be worth about $4 million in the next 2 years. We're going through several POCs in different industries, such as pharma and real estate private equity and many other industries. We're a team of successful second-time founders and ex-Google data experts. And we're raising $4 million for a seed round to grow our sales and engineering teams. If you're interested in what we're building and want to build with us, come talk to us. It'll be great to meet you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Jonathan. My question for you. How does Findly compare to an AI assistant like ChatGPT or Gemini?
Thanks for the question. So first of all, we're a full analytics solution. You can create dashboards, you can create custom alerts. Also, Findly uses a specific semantic layer for your business. So it has a fine-tuned models to really understand specific business needs. A general model such as ChatGPT can easily look at an Excel file or a single database, but when you go into multiple databases and answering very complex problems, they're not the right fit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Up next, I am delighted to introduce Diamond, CEO and co-founder at Augmend.
Hey there, I'm Diamond. This is Augmend. We're working to merge AI agent and human worlds in order to make both far more effective. I've been working in the AI space for more than a decade, far too long now, and I've been most excited recently about the perspective of proactive assistance. This is the first time that we're really building out the right building blocks to make this happen. However, agents are early, right? They're really working on figuring out how to actually make these workflows interact, accomplish complicated projects, and actually get things done for you. One of the big reasons why they're quite so early is we're just giving them the wrong tools. We're kind of giving them the ability to stare at MS-DOS prompts, and no one's really created Windows. They're looking at these kind of text-based prompts instead of multimodality, unidimensional communication, and limited tools. If you're going to give a new engineer on your team something to do, you don't just give them a couple APIs, a little bit of instructions, and say, good luck, use my computer, you'll figure it out. Instead, we really want to create the PC revolution for agents, kind of an agent OS, and build the right building blocks that will allow new models to work better and work for you and work effectively. First up is kind of a spatial workspace. What does it really mean to give them the same kind of window-like experience that you would give anyone else? This is human-like app use, rewindable, multiplayer. I don't want to have to go and look through a bunch of logs to figure out what my agent was doing. I'd like to go see what you're doing on the screen and just go look at your terminal, look at your browser, look at the application that you're using. Next, we don't usually just give you an app and say good luck either. You might have manuals that are learned from your team, things that you might have context about, things that someone else has learned and kind of written down. Every application that's part of this kind of OS and workspace has contextual, external, and learned data. Then the most important part, I think, that people aren't focusing enough on is human in the loop. This is expertise cloning from another user. This is kind of the multiplayer with a human, not just multiplayer between humans. I should be able to understand how you work and what you're doing by taking a look and seeing what you're up to. And if I'm an agent that gets stuck, I should be able to ask any other dev on my team or any other person in whatever field I'm working in to show me how to solve the problem, not just go and figure out how to change my prompt. So come join the revolution. Our first product out there is this human expertise cloning. You can kind of think of this as Loom meets a Copilot. It learns from you as you screen share. The next step is to take that information and start to automate and really build tools for a multimodal human collaboration suite that's going to be available soon as well. So if you're an agent's application team, if you're an agent's research team that's interested in building out new tools, please do get a hold of me. We've already got a couple hundred devs using this, and we're expecting to start rolling out to more soon. So thank you. Find me over here. Oh, right. There's a question.
Hi, Diamond.
That's what I've been told.
I do have a question. Can you say more about how you can help an AI learn from a human?
Yeah. So one of the things that we really do is that we actually stick a client on your machine when you're ready to start sharing with an AI agent that captures the clicks you're doing, the accessibility data, and aligns that to your voice and what you're doing on screen in order to build up a deep understanding of what you've been up to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I can leave. Yeah.
Thank you, Diamond. Up next, just two left. Can you believe it? Let's welcome Omar, Chief Science Officer at Sibley. Big warm welcome.
70 no. Sibley automates the process of investment research. Investment research is difficult. There's a lot of information out there. And the second thing is it's not that clear what's relevant and what's not relevant. And even if you knew what was relevant and what wasn't relevant, you wouldn't necessarily know how to distill that down to the exact impact it has on your portfolio. Institutional investors spend a lot of time every day trying to go through all of this information to identify opportunities and to understand the impact that it has on their portfolio. What we do is we generate investable insights that are based on your investment philosophy and not ours, i.e. we're not trying to impose how you should invest. We're trying to enable an information advantage that acts as you would act if you had perfect information. Or rather than adding an information advantage, you can think of it as removing the information handicap. The problem today has become increasingly one not just of capability, but of compute. I.e., the questions used to be, can AI do it? Can you do it using AI? The question now is, can you do it with a small enough model outside of the use case of a demo or POC that just uses the biggest possible LLM they could get your hands on to get through the demo? Can you deploy it at scale? And can you do it with economics that make sense? And that's what we focus on at Sibley. Our team comes from a heavily technical background that combines both tech consulting, investment experience. Our CEO has PhDs in mathematical finance. A lot of my work was in hardware companies, DL, quantization algorithms, optimization, and serving these models for inference at scale. So if you think of the investment process, you can think of it as twofold. One is building a structure that builds up to things that you care about, like revenue or gross margin or profit. And the other is breaking it down to smaller blocks that build up to that and connecting it to everything that's happening in the world, not just in the news, but in broker research, investor calls, whatever information you can get your hands on. We're doing this not just in theory or for POCs and demos. We're doing it in practice. We have $1 million closed in sales for the year. We just recently, a few days ago, closed with our biggest client and presented to their CIO. They gave us the test, which is give us their documents a few minutes before the meeting, not a week before, and see how it turns out, which some of you who have done that kind of test know, you don't know what to expect. And they were impressed, and it works. So if you're a VC or an engineer or a sales professional who's interested in this vertical, please feel free to come and talk to me afterwards. Thank you.
Hi, Omar. Why can't foundational model like Gemini or GPT do what you do out of the box?
Because you can't upload 10 million documents to GPT.
Thank you.
10 million. You cannot upload 10 million. Wow. Short and sweet. I love that. We are here. We're at the final one. Can you believe it? Wow. Super excited. Last, but certainly not least, I'm thrilled to introduce Dr. William, CEO and co-founder of Rocket Doctor. Let's give a big, warm welcome.
All right. Thank you, Matt, and thanks everybody for coming out. I am painfully aware I'm the last thing standing between you and happy hour, so I'll do my best to make this brief. My name is Bill Cherniak. I'm an emergency physician, and I'm the founder and CEO of Rocket Doctor. So, little exercise for the group. By a show of hands, how many people have ever sat in a room that looked something like this and waited just a little bit longer than you would have liked to see a physician? Yeah, basically everybody for folks watching. And when you got to see that doctor, by another show of hands, how many folks found that they were just a little bit burnt out or rushed you just a little bit more than you would have liked for your visit? Again, essentially everybody. So now imagine you're one of 90 million Americans on Medicaid, which is the health insurance for folks at or below the poverty line, pregnant women, children, called Medi-Cal here in California. And think about the difficulty you'd have accessing clinical services and how often you would end up in one of those waiting rooms unnecessarily. This is a massive problem impacting tens of millions of folks, costing the system tens of billions of dollars every year. As a physician, this next number is particularly irksome to me, where we spend up to a day a week on non-clinical administrative duties. That's in part contributing to 65% of us feeling burnt out. Rocket Doctor, we're flipping the paradigm by empowering physicians to build and scale our own independent practices, largely virtually in a Shopify-like model. We then go a step beyond and produce a marketplace where we can intelligently match the right patient to the right provider, largely folks on Medicaid and in those rural and remote communities. We build all the software that powers that, both the practice and the matching. We've now helped over 300 physicians care for over 350,000 patient visits across North America. The first AI tool that we've been developing the last 10 weeks is called Rocket Doctor Connect. Myself and a team of physicians have been building a set of proprietary triage algorithms, which we've put onto large language models and into a chatbot to help you as a patient understand, do I need to go sit in that waiting room for that in-person visit? Or in fact, can I use Rocket Doctor for a virtual visit? Next, tackling that day a week of the administrative duties, we have Health Voyager. Rather than have to sift through hundreds of pages of medical records, free text notes, PDFs, lab requisitions, I can simply say, summarize the patient's medical history. It pulls from all of that, summarizes, I can copy and paste into the medical note, and I get all the information on the patient that I require. This technology is fueling the incredible growth we've already been experiencing, 86% growth in revenue since the end of Q3 last year, up to 1.3 million of ARR based on last month's MRR. We've precipitously dropped, thank you. We've dropped our CACs by up to 90% while exponentially scaling patient volume in the same period of time. I have a background at Hopkins, Kaiser Permanente, and the NIH. I get to work with one of my brothers who's a corporate M&A lawyer, film producer, went to the LSE. Our team has deep expertise in public health, computer science, and clinical medicine. These are all doctors. These are experts in the world in clinical medicine and digital health, and they help us to build and scale our product, bring in new physicians, and are doing it on equity. And they do it because they believe in the mission and vision of what we're doing at the company. We're raising a $1.3 million round in equal parts to build our AI tech, train our platform, and execute 2 new contracts, one of which we've actually got over the course of this program as well, with a 500,000 member managed care plan in Southern California. We have a great group of folks on our cap table currently, and if you'd like to join us on our mission of advancing equitable access to healthcare while leveraging advanced technology, come chat with me.
Hi, Dale. There are so many digital health companies in the market. Can you highlight what makes Rocket Doctor unique?
Yeah, totally. So there's this unfortunate trend that maybe some of the VCs and folks in this audience have heard of, this commoditization of virtual care. And what we are doing is comparing a doctor to a coffee bean or a steel alloy. And it's a race to the bottom, watering down the quality of care. So Rocket Doctor, we're empowering physicians to actually provide holistic care to patients, while in parallel, we're actually enabling them to not just tackle HR employer benefits, cash, commercial, Medicare, Medicare Advantage, but focus on Medicaid. 90 million people, $700 billion market that nobody has really looked into previously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. William. I can't believe it. We made it. Wow. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to these 15 amazing startups. Can we give one more big round of applause to them? Really, really cool. Thank you to our many mentors and partners across Google who are here. And lastly, thank you to all of you that joined here in person, that joined live. We're thrilled to be with you all. We have a final call to action for you. You can visit the Google for Startups Accelerator page and check out all the programs that we're running. You can also check out this specific startup cohort there if you go to that link on the screen. And please share this demo day. It'll live on YouTube. You can continue to watch it and share it with your networks. Before we end, I want to send one final reminder and then hand it off to David. Check out Google for Startups Cloud program, especially if you're an AI company building. $350K in cloud credits are awaiting for you. Before we conclude, David McLaughlin, Director of Developer Ecosystem, will take us home.
Sounds good. Thank you, Matt. And thank you, everybody who pitched today. Thank you especially to all of our mentors. Thank you for everyone from Google and externally who helped make this cohort so amazing. Let's give everybody one more round of applause. I just have to say, this is one of the strongest cohorts I've seen, and we've been doing this accelerator program for many years now. Every few years, a new opportunity comes up in the tech industry. The last couple of years of change in AI has been more than anything I've ever seen. And what this really means is that we have a new set of fundamental paradigm-shifting tools that lets us solve problems that we couldn't solve before. We've really sort of mined the extent of what traditional compute, whether it's internet-connected compute, mobile-connected compute, cloud-driven compute, our traditional algorithms, we're reaching the borders of the types of problems they could solve. But with the rise of Gen AI, with the rise of LLMs, you get to see a totally new class of problems being solved. And that's what we saw today in all these amazing demos. So I am super excited for the future of all these companies. I'm super excited by all of the different products that are going to be resulting. If we could click to the next slide, I also want to give a small pitch. If you liked this, our team also runs a bunch of other things you might be interested in. So in addition to accelerator classes, we run about 20 of these a year, most of which are AI first. We also run a set of developer community programs. So if you're a developer, if you're a founder who wants to engage with developers and really learn more about Google's technology platforms and really connect with fellow like-minded developers, I encourage you, go to ai.google.dev, get a lot of info on Gemini and our other products, and join one of our community groups. We run thousands of Google developer groups around the world, and we have a massive network of Google developer experts who are here to help mentor you and help guide your journey. And of course, I encourage all of y'all to keep in touch with one another. The alumni program in our accelerator classes is one of the most powerful benefits of that program. So again, thank you all for coming, and thank you to everybody who was on the live stream. We hope you all enjoyed this, and for those of you who weren't able to, please share this link with your friends. Now, I'm going to pass it off to Matt. Thank you all.
Thank you all for joining, and that's a wrap. Let's wrap it up. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for joining. Woo!